everybody. Hope everybody is doing good. Happy 4th of July. Hope everyone is doing well and enjoying this long weekend. So, what do I have going on today? So, today I am embroidering hats. I have been embroidering hats, doing 3D embroidery. And one of the things that I was thinking about while I was embroidering these hats is what other methods we can use to probably do some hat embroidery, right? Because everybody likes different styles and everything. Nobody really wants to see the same hat and all that. So let me show you guys the hat that I embroidered today. This is 3D embroidery. I embroidered this for my girlfriend, Janine. It's her birthday this month. So she's having a get together. So I went and I embroidered a bunch of like little gifts to give her. And I did the 3D embroidery. But one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys that I was thinking about as I was embroidering this hat was, can I use felt instead of 3D foam? But not in the same way that you would use 3D foam. Now, let me show you what I am talking about. Okay, I have a couple of baby blankets that I do with felt. A lot of people like these. And let me show you what they look like. Okay. So as you can see, what it is the white that you see around the stitches right here. That is actually felt. Okay. Now, people have asked me, does the felt do good in the wash? Yes, it does. Okay. Which is one of the reasons why I like using it. So you could wash this 100 times. The felt is going to be just fine. So just so that you can see, this is what it kind of looks like. Now, on the baby blanket is kind of big, right? So when you look at a hat, you really don't have that much space, okay? So, it's kind of, this is going to be like a trial and error thing. And I also started to think a little bit more, not just about hats, but I started thinking to myself about those Easter baskets that we always make every time Easter comes around, right? Everybody runs over to Five and Below and they go ahead and they get the sorry, I'm watching Mellow because they have fireworks out where I'm at, and he does get a little nervous. So as soon as it starts to get dark and stuff, I am gonna have to shut down the embroidery happy hour just to give you guys a 411. Okay, so because he does get nervous and stuff. So what I do is I'll go downstairs in the basement and just, so that way, and put a movie on pretty loud. So that way he doesn't hear it and stuff. So it kind of helps a little bit. So anyway, let's get back to the hats. Okay. Because I need to get this done before sundown. So when I was thinking about this felt, I was thinking, this would really look cute on a hat, and it's different. It's not regular embroidery. It's not 3D embroidery. It's something pretty different. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to give it a shot, and I wanted to try this out live so that you guys can see what I do, because you guys gave me some great suggestions last week when I was doing the quilting embroidery about floating, so that way I don't waste so much fabric and stuff, which I still have to try. I haven't had a chance, but I wanted to give this a shot. Now I'm going to share my screen because I want you guys to see exactly. Oh, let me show you some more examples of this. Okay, this is one example, and this is, I want you guys to pay attention to the embroidery stitch that's inside of the felt. Okay, see how thick that is? That's a chain stitch, and it's called a dense chain stitch. All right, but the stitch that I'm going to use is like a hand stitch, which I'll show you. I'll show you a sample of that, because this stitch look is good when you have like a big blanket, but if you have something small, you don't want too much embroidery, because you're not going to have too much room for the felt, right? So this is another sample so that you guys can see. And let me tell you another reason why I like this method as well. Okay, the reason why I kind of like this method is because if you look closely, you could have the thread in one color, and then you go and you can pick the felt in another color, and it looks really, really cute. Like, for instance, here, this is a perfect example of it, because this is a little bit more, as you can see, I have the dark pink and then I have the light pink felt there. Okay, and let me see, I do have Jack on here on this side. Oh, I think I showed you guys this one. Did I show you guys this one? Because I know it's a lot. But see, this is just a single. This looks like a single hand stitch. Okay, see how it's different? It's just a straight line going around, and it's kind of thick and stuff. So yeah, so this is pretty cool. So this is what I'm going to do. I want to do something very similar to this, but I want to put it on a hat like this. Okay, so to save time, I've already set up my machines. Okay, I actually, right behind me, you're going to see both the machines. You're going to see the one, you know, the one right here, this has the setup for the hat. The one over here has the setup for Easter basket, just so that we could see how it looks after it embroiders. And when we cut out the felt, let's see if it's readable and if it's something that is doable. Okay, so I'm going to unplug my laptop right now. But you know what? Before I do that, though, let me show you guys how I actually created the designs. All right, so I want to share my screen so that you guys can actually see how I actually do the design, because I always think that that's a good thing to show you guys. Let's see. There we go. I'm going to share my screen entirely, and now I'm going to minimize this screen right here, and we're going to go straight over here to Embroidery. Okay, now these are the designs that I'm going to be using. Okay, this is Janet, I'm going to use for the hat, and I didn't want to put Jeanette because there's so many letters and you have to kind of hand cut the felt. So I figured Janet, 5 letters, that's good enough. And then we have Mellow. Okay, so let me start over. Okay, so better yet, let me just go here and I'll just tell you. This is the hat frame. Okay, so depending on if you, whatever machine you're using, you'll know the hoop size that you have in order for you to do your words. Okay, and this is just in case someone asks. Okay, this is the name that I have for this font, which is Halamira Hand. But if you just look up bean stitch, right, because that's really what it is, it's just really a thick bean stitch, and you look on Etsy, there's plenty of them. Okay, they have the script and then they also have the print. All right, so I use the hat frame for this, and I just made sure that it fit within the hat frame. And then when I did Mellows, I used a 5x5 hoop. Okay, I'm using my mighty hoop, and I have it on my other machine. And all I did was just make sure that this fits in there. And then I just took the files and then I just saved them. Okay, so you know, that's how I created them. And let me see. Let's go over here to my thing. I'm gonna remove and stop sharing. I'm gonna unplug you guys. I'm gonna put you guys on that that little thing that I have behind me, okay, where I can plop you guys. That way I can walk around the embroidery room, and then we can talk about it a little bit. Now, a little bit more though about, hold on, let me put you guys in here, and hold on. I need to secure you guys. So I have this little rubber band. Sorry, Mellow. And I'm going to secure the laptop to the stand. Okay? Because I don't want you guys to fall off. Okay? So hold on. So whoop. Okay. So there you guys go. And you guys are secure. It's in there. You guys are good. Okay. All right. So the other thing that I wanted to tell you guys about this, okay? Let me bring this over here. Oh, did I drop something? I sure did. My Latina hat. I'm trying to do patches on hats as well. I will tell you this. I don't like the way this came out. This didn't really come out really good. Take a look at it real close. It's like the stitching is off on the round thing, and I want to do that distressed look. So I mean, but it's good enough for me. So when I walk mellow, I'll wear my hat. I'll use this one for myself. But all right, so let me also share with you something that came to my mind when I was thinking about this. All right. Um, as you guys know, there was a while back where I had did a video where I was like, some people are embroidering with yarn, right? And what they were doing was they were doing similar, like what I'm going to be doing, but I do it with felt. But what they were doing was they were using yarn on the shirts, right? So they would go ahead and they would embroider on it, and then they would just tack down the yarn. Now, a couple of things about this. I don't know. It just could be me, but I did try it. I didn't think it was easy to do. I do see that some people, I guess if you keep doing it long enough, you do get the swing of it, and you eventually can do this pretty quickly. But the thing that kind of concerned me was when you cut the yarn, you may get some fraying that's going on, and I don't know how long things are going to last in the wash, right? So one of the things that I always think about whenever I'm trying to do something new is the longevity of the product, okay? Everything's going to look cute when you first take it out the machine, and everything's going to be really great when the customer first sees it. But the issue that you can come up, that can arise is when the customer starts to use your product on a regular basis. And if they start washing it a lot and everything like that, and then they start seeing that the design is starting to lose its integrity, that they're going to get a lot of fraying and all that kind of stuff, that's when you can actually have problems with your customers. Because then what's going to happen is they're going to be like, okay, it was great when I first got it, but then as your people are paying money, right? This is really the bottom line. This is how I look at it. And if people are paying money and you want them to pay what you're worth, it's better be quality. And you don't want your customers to get an item and then all of a sudden, after like a month or 2 months, it's in the trash, because they're going to remember that. And they're going to be like, I don't know, I'm not going to buy it again, or they're not going to recommend it because they already know that it's a product that's not going to last long. Okay. So when I look at the yarn, okay, and please correct me, someone in the chat, if I am wrong, okay, but when I saw this for the embroidery, and I saw that some of the method that people were doing was they were just cutting it, but I never saw how someone was sealing it, like sealing the ends after they cut it. And I did notice that sometimes while they were embroidering it, there was a lot of fraying. So this is my thought process. So it's like, okay, so you get a shirt, you do the yarn thing, it looks good, but then what happens after wash number 5, wash number 10, wash number 11? Is the frame gonna start coming out? And then next thing you know, the shirt says love, and then before you know it, after they've washed it for the 15th time, it doesn't say LOVE, now it has LOV, right? So it can kind of mess you up in a way. So that's just how I see it. So to me, it's like whenever I am doing something and I'm thinking about putting it on the market, I'm always thinking about how long is this item going to last? Okay. Is this going to meet the customer's expectations or even my expectations? Because I don't like to put something out there for someone, and then all of a sudden I know that it's not going to last, because then I know they're going to be disappointed, and I don't want that. So, I know for a fact, okay, because I have sold lots of these, okay, and I have myself taken these and washed them. Every time we did laundry here, I would just throw it in with my regular laundry. and I would rewash and rewash and rewash. Okay, so I washed these for 6 months, and this is how it looks. Okay, still looks fantastic. All right, so I know for a fact the felt is a very good choice for this type of embroidery. Okay, because at first I was a little worried too, because I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, will the felt really last, because when you look at it. But when I look at it and I feel it, it is strong. Okay, and this is just regular craft felt, guys, and you can get these in so many different colors, mega cheap at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and stuff. So it's like and it washed really well, as you can see. I mean, both of these have gone through the wash, both of them, and as you can see, I don't get any fraying, nothing, no fraying, no nothing. So it works great, and and every customer that I have sold these to, they love it. They love it. They and have even bought more and stuff. Now, one of the things that I do notice is they don't really sell very well online, but they do sell very well locally. Okay, and it's like what I did was I just took a picture and I put it on my community site, and then I said, hey, is anyone interested? And and the thing is, why just do this on baby blankets? This is something you can do on shirts. Okay, because I know at one time people were doing like 3D puff embroidery, and I was thinking to myself, ooh, okay, I don't know how well that's going to do in the wash, right? I still don't. I mean, some people say that there's no problem with it, but I don't know. I never did the 3D puff embroidery on clothing, because I've always thought, I don't know if that's going to last, because you got to remember, when you're embroidering stuff, for specific items, they're used in different ways, right? Not everything is used the same way. So a hat, for example, like this, it's not going to go in the wash very often. Okay, people usually just take the hat, they wear it, and and then they just hang it up and stuff. And if they wash it, it's very seldom, okay, that they do. So it's not going to have the same type of use as a shirt. A shirt, I mean, they get washed every week, because I don't, since I retired, I got rid of a lot of clothes. So now it's kind of like I just stay with nice, simple shirts, and it's good enough. It just works. So anyway, so getting back to our project now. Okay, so let's give this all a shot. Okay, so right here, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, so this is the hat, and I already have it hooped on this machine and everything. This is the felt that I want to use. Okay, and the thread that I want to use for this is going to be white. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be taking this, and I'm going to be putting it on here, and I'm going to embroider Janet on here. So let's see, how long does this take? 6 minutes. And oh, I have it on slow too. Okay, that's fine. All right. So, all right, but it's 6 minutes, but I have it on 600. I'll lift up the speed because it is a quick embroidery and stuff. So I'm gonna have this here so you guys can see. So let's see, it's gonna be needle number 8. Okay, so let's see how this comes out. I'm hoping that this comes out pretty good. I've already traced and everything, so I know they're gonna come out good, because I wanted to save some time, because I didn't know how mellow was going to be reacting and stuff. So I know the last time Nancy sent me a message saying that you guys couldn't hear me to get closer to the thing. So this is now going to be embroidering. So let me just bring you closer. You guys can take a look at it, okay? And you guys can see how it's going. And as you can see, I just laid it down, okay? I just laid it down. Once it starts to embroider, it kind of tacks it down. So you don't really have to hold it. So I'm just letting it do its magic. The most consuming part of this process is when you have to cut the felt. Okay, so I'll show you how I'm doing that, and then we'll see if it actually works, because I think this would be really neat if this comes out really cute. I could see a lot of people liking these hats. And let me speed it up just a little bit. Oh, it's not speeding. Okay, so I guess it's just, oh, it's not letting me speed it up, but that's okay. All right, so it's got like 4 minutes to embroider right now, so. And I'm gonna go check on Mellow, guys. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Okay, so it's just doing the double stitching. So as you can see, it looks pretty thick. All right, that was just one letter. And I can see I have a couple of loose threads, but I'm not going to worry about it. Hey, Mellow, you okay? Here's a little peek of Mellow. Hey, sweetie. All right, let's go back to the hat. We're doing a hat, Papa. You okay? I thought this was going to be a lot quicker, but. Okay, maybe it is. Okay. I'm really interested to see how this is going to turn out. Is this going to be a bust or is this going to be a win? Now I noticed this did double, so I wonder if I had did something wrong with the design, but I'm not going to worry about that. I just want to see if this concept actually works. so this one is done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this out. All right, let's take it out. And this is what it looks like so far. So that looks good. All right, so let's go over to the table and stuff, and let's talk about this for a little bit. And let me take all this stuff out of the way because you guys don't need to see this anymore. I'm going to move this to another section here. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys a little bit, okay, because I know some of you guys may have some questions about this. First of all, I know some folks are going to ask, Jeanette, what the heck is this? All right, well, let me show you guys what it is. What this is this is just a little pad that I made. There's a reason why I made this, and there's a reason why I put that on here. When I take this off, okay, these points right here, sometimes when you put it on, it kind of hits the bill of the hat. And then sometimes what happens is it can leave like a little indentation, okay, if it's too tight. So what I did was I created this little pad so that way I can put it in this surface so that when I close this up, this doesn't really pierce at the bill, and it won't give me like a little notch or something like that. Okay, so that's what that is. All right, just in case you guys are wondering, this is something that I just made myself. All right, so that I can prevent that. So now I'm going to take this off from here. All righty. Okay, so let me put this aside. All right, so now here we go. We got our hat, okay? So let me bring you guys a little bit closer so you guys can see. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors, all right, and I'm going to cut. Okay, just the excess. That's what I'm going to do. But I'm not going to cut all the way down, all right, because I do want some excess in there. You know, some extra. So don't cut everything down. So you guys see how I'm doing this here. I just want to get rid of some extra. All right, so here we go. So we have it like this. So as you can see, like when you looked at the blanket, all right, and let me take out the stabilizer. I have stabilizer in here too. Take out my stabilizer. Here you go. All right, so this is the thing that I think might get a little tricky. All right, let me bring one of the blankets back. So as you can see, what I do is I cut around all of the letters, right? So now I kind of have to do the similar thing here. So what I have to do is I kind of have to play with it. So I'm going to be taking out some of this excess, and you got to be careful you don't cut the hat itself. All right, so there you go. And as you can see, you start cutting a lot of it, and then you just start cutting some more. Now, I do have several scissors handy on here. So let me show you what I have here. All right. I got these scissors. These are little folding scissors. And I really like these because this has a very round tip. Okay, it doesn't have a pointy tip. This, if you look at it, has a very pointy tip, right? And these have round. So I like to use these sometimes because I feel they're a little bit easier to cut felt with. Okay. So as I start to cut, I try to get closer to the outline of the letter. Okay. So, and as I'm getting closer, I don't want to cut the hat. So you got to be kind of careful. So, and then you kind of go around each of these letters. And I think this is going to come out pretty cute. All right. And then what I like is sometimes I do have to put the scissors a little bit inside. But you don't want to cut the hat. That's the thing you got to be careful about. Guys, I think I'm going to like this. The only thing is it is time consuming. Okay? It is time consuming. You do have to be careful that you don't cut the actual hat. And you want to make them a little bit round. All right, let me. Just so you can see what's coming out. See? That's coming out really cute. But as you can see, it's a little time consuming, but that's okay. Makes it fun. Or at least to me, you know? Oh, this is really cute. I'm starting to like this. And you see how, you know, you're cutting the felt piece by piece. And I'm using the scissors that have the rounded tip, okay? Because you don't want something to jack on your hat. And if you notice, I'm not using a structured baseball hat either, okay? This is non-structured, so it makes it a little easier to cut around. You can hear the fireworks outside. So far, Mello's doing okay. He's not freaking out. Okay. You want to try to make your cuts neat too. You don't want to make them too sloppy and stuff. So, you know, you'll eventually like fix them. You know, as you start to cut more, you'll curve them up a lot better. See how it's coming out? What do you guys think so far? I think it's looking cute. Something different, you know? I'm just gonna cut around a little bit here. I mean, there's still some more that I could cut. You know, like I could cut within the A if I want. I should be able to get in here too. But see, this is where the real skinny ones come in handy because that way you can kind of like snip a little bit in there. And then it gets, once you cut a little bit, it gets a little easier to go inside. And then you can like lift it up and then do a lot better. There you go. See? And then you can just see how I just cut it in there? Then I can just go the rest of the way. Yeah, go slow. Don't rush it. Guys, so cute. Kind of like this. All right. There you go. I think this looks cute, guys. All right, so what do you think? What do you guys think? Do you think this is something that people would like? I think it's really cute. I like the way it came out. I think it looks really cute. You could cut around here if you want. You just got to be real careful because you don't want to cut the hat, you know, and stuff. I mean, usually when I have it like here, see how I have the letter A? Here I cut around it. And with Jack, I did the same. So you could. The thing that I advise is you just got to be real careful, okay? Because the last thing you want is to cut the material of the hat. But if you decide to leave it like this, I think it looks cute. I don't see anything wrong with it, you know. And then you just got to clean it up, you know. Once you kind of have it, then you just clean it up, foam the shape a little rounder around the letters, and it looks nice. So this is a cute hat. I think this is really cute. It's different, okay? You know, the 3D embroidery, where did I put that other hat at? The 3D, here it is. The 3D embroidery is nice too. You know, it's a nice clean look and everything. It looks really cute and stuff. But what I kind of like is, you know, I was just looking for something different, you know? And to me, I was like, you know, people really like the blanket. And what I kind of like about the felt is it's very economical, okay? Because you can go to Michael's and you know how everything's going up in price. So you want to try to find stuff that, you know, is, I don't want to say cheap, but affordable so that you can make them and sell them and stuff. And I really like that these do hold well in the wash because, like I said, I use them for the baby blankets. People like them. I've even been doing them on beach towels. People like that too. So it's like really cute. You saying what's the font that is? Rita, what I recommend is it's like a hand stitch embroidery font. Okay, I don't really know the actual name, but what I will do is I will go and look. I know I got it off of Etsy, so I will go and I will look, and I will post that link of this actual font on the site so that way you guys can see it. So, you know, felt comes in so many different colors. Okay, so it's like the customer can select the color thread that they want, and they can also select the color of the felt. Okay, so you know, I kind of like it. I think it looks really cute. It's different. Yeah, I mean, oh, so I'm gonna be rocking this hat, okay? Because I love to wear my baseball hats when I walk mellow and stuff. So I'm gonna be rocking this one. And stuff. People ask me, did you make that? Yeah, I sure did. All right, so we know this works really good with the baseball hats. I'm happy with it. Hope you guys like it too. Let's go over to the other machine because now we're going to do the same concept. Okay, I want to do the same thing on these Easter baskets. Now, these are the Easter baskets that I get from Five and Below. And what I want to do is I wanted to create one for Mellow. All right. I've already scanned it and everything. I know it's going to fit. So what I'm going to do is the same thing. Okay. We're going to embroider this, and it's not dark yet. Okay. So let's embroider this, and let's see, and let me cut it out and let's see what it looks like. Because you know that when people do the Easter baskets, everybody's always looking for like a thick font or something like that. And you know, a lot of people sell them and border them and everything, but sometimes you want something different. You want to offer something different. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna embroider this. It is on that. Okay, I'm gonna use a dark blue thread that's gonna match the side of this embroidery, and then I'm going to use the light blue felt. All right, so let's Mellow is only 4 letters, so it shouldn't take that long to go ahead and embroider. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Let me get some sticks here and make sure the felt doesn't shift. I don't think it will. It's fine. Yeah, it's flat. It's gonna be fine. All right, so it is embroidering. I don't know if you guys can see it from the glare. I think you can't. Yeah, I think the light kind of prevents it. But all right, I'm gonna let the machine do its thing on Mellow, and you know what I'm gonna try to do as that's going. Try to neaten this up a little bit here. Make it a little bit more neater. And you know, I'm not even going to bother to do take this out for the O, the A, and the E. I think this is perfect. I think it looks good. It's readable. It looks cute. I really do like it. Let me see if I can just clean it up just a little bit more. Because that's all it is. You just want to make sure that when you're cutting the felt, that it's nice and neat. You know, I mean, you just got to cut around it. All I did was cut around the T and stuff. See, the T looks a little bit better. Now I'm thinking about cutting around here a little bit, making it a little rounder. You know, here, so you guys can see what I'm doing while the machine is going. Here you guys go. So I just want to make this little rounder around here. That's all. And if you notice, sometimes as you're cutting, you get a little closer to the threads. You know, that's why I tell people, don't cut too close, okay? From, you know, starting. As you start to cut and you start to shape your letters, you'll get there, right? You'll eventually get to the part where there you go. I'm really happy with this. I'm glad that I gave this a try. You know? Okay, let me get the big ones. Let me get the big suckers here. Okay, these I know are really, really sharp. There you go. Now you do want sharp scissors for this. Okay. There you go. There you go. And you know, guys, this is kind of fun to do. Okay, looks like the Easter basket is done. Okay. This came out really, really, really cute. There you go. Came out cute. I'm happy with it. Very, very, very happy with it. Very satisfied. Let me clean this stuff up because I don't like a mess and stuff. And then I'm going to bring the Easter basket here. Let's get organized. Let's get organized, people. All right, this is trash. And all right. So here we go. We are at this machine and it did mellow. Oh, cute. All right, so let's do the same thing. Same process, guys. Okay? So it's the same process. And I'll take this off. And you guys are going to hear it's kind of loud. Hold your ears. Ooh, sorry. All right, so I'm going to put this aside. All right, so same process, like I said. We're going to then this is scrap for the next project. This is scrap too. All right, the rest can't be scrap. This is going to be more garbage now. All right, let me put the garbage by me. All right, so, oops, sorry guys. All right, I'm just going to, because I have the garbage here. So, all right, so guys, same concept. This is the Easter baskets that everybody loves. Okay, so I want to see if this will look okay, you know. So, same concept. You're going to want to cut around. Okay, and just and if you guys notice, I am using my round I don't know what you call, they're not pointed. These are not pointed. All right, so you know, you just kind of gotta be careful too. You don't cut that basket, because they're not. Then there goes the basket. All right, and then I'm gonna cut here, and you don't want to cut. You don't want to cut the tail, okay? And then you're just gonna go around. Now, as you can see, it is a little time consuming, you know. But it's cute. You want to be careful that you're not cutting the inside of the basket, okay? So as you can see, it is a little time consuming. And I don't know how I feel about this. You know, the way, I mean, I'm not sure yet. Because you have the outline of the bunny. So I'm not sure how this is really going to look. And you could get a little impatient too, because already I'm kind of like, oh, I'm tired. So could you imagine if you had a lot of these? Be like, oh my God. This would not be something that you tell the customer that you can have in like 5 minutes. Because you would be, you got to snip away. So, all right. All right. So, it's starting to come along. And, but I guess this is a little bit tougher to do, but it's fine. But you guys have the idea. I'm trying to do it so you guys can see how I'm actually doing this here. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I feel about this, guys. What do you guys think? I mean, I know I'm probably talking too soon because I just started cutting it. And I know that after I cut it, I have to clean it up and stuff like that. And it could be also maybe the color felt that I picked. Maybe if I picked the better color, maybe the darker or something. There you go. Oh shoot! Here the amazing. Mellow's not freaking out. Okay, there you go. So, see how it's looking so far? So I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Can you cut out the letters on the bunny on your scan and cut before? You know what, Margie? That's a good idea. I don't have a scan and cut. But that ain't a bad idea. But this is not applique, right? This is, you would have to somehow, you would have to find a font that is kind of similar to this, right? Because the thing is, remember, this font kind of curves, right? So I don't know. We would have to explore that. That's a really good idea because, man, would that save some time? Oh, you know, that would save some time. I'm kind of like doing stuff like this with you guys because you guys come up with some good ideas. You know, because you know how sometimes when you're doing stuff alone, it's like you need more than one brain to figure it out. And that idea I kind of like. I mean, I don't know if you can, because see, this is a thing. You would want the outline to this font. But I bet you could probably create it, because maybe with a knockdown stitch or something. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe you can do it with a knockdown stitch, because as you can see, cutting this out can be pretty time consuming. You know, it takes time, and I'm sure as time goes on, you'll, you know, if you were to do it this way and you do enough of them, You'll be doing a lot of them, you know, and then you'll probably be a lot quicker because you'll know exactly how to curve around the letters and all that kind of stuff and everything. So, yeah, so this is what it's looking like so far. So I think the colors that I picked are not exactly like too flattering for this. Ooh, my fat fingers got stuck inside the felt. Yeah, but you want to make sure, see how some I have squared, but you want to like curve them off so that they look nicer. There you go. All right, here we go. All right, guys. So let's see, how do I feel about this? It's all right. All right, guys. All right, let me take you guys back to the desk. I'm gonna unstrap you now so you guys can feel some freedom. Sorry. Okay. So let's go back to the desk. Let's take a look at them. And you guys can tell me what you think. All right. Hold on. Let me put you guys up here because I know you got the lights shining on you right now. I'm going to replug you in. Replug. Okay. There we go. All righty. I take my zip. Sip of water. All right. So let's pull this and let's take a look at this and talk about this some more. Jeanette, you feel a little discouraged? I am on the basket. On the basket, I'm a little bit discouraged because I kind of really wanted it to be more like a wow. But that's okay. It could be maybe the color that I picked, something like that. Who knows? I mean, all right. I'm just putting the thing back here. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, this I love the way this came out. I think this came out awesome. This is a winner. I really like it. This was cool. This was really cool. Love this. Okay. Now, the basket. I wanted to try that on the basket. This is how it looks. I don't know about it, guys, but I have a feeling that it's not that it looks bad. I think what it is maybe the colors that I picked. Maybe I should not have picked light blue. Maybe I should have did like a red or something to pop it more. It made it a little bit too simple. It's not bad, but I don't know. I mean, do you guys like the Easter basket? I don't know. I mean, and yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's I don't know if people would probably want the regular embroidery for this, honestly. And the regular embroidery, I think a white felt would have stand out better. Yeah, maybe I should have chose white. I don't know. Yeah. Because you know what? The white would have matched the little tail. That was a good idea. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this, and stuff. So anyway, but ooh, he's starting to get antsy, guys. I'm gonna have to because it is dark and Mellow is starting to walk back and forth and stuff like that. So, but I did want to meet with you guys tonight. You know what I'm saying? And I thought about this, and I thought this was different, and I thought it was a neat idea. I really like the color felt, and I like the white thread on this, and I really like the way this came out. I think this is definitely a winner for hats. I could see people rocking this. I could see it. I could see this type of hat with like mom on it. Or people's names on it. The hat is a winner to me. This, it could have been the colors of the felt. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I don't know. This is kind of like a to me, This is bing to me. I really like this concept on the hat. It's different because, like I said, people usually do the regular embroidery, then they do 3D puff embroidery. You could even do applique on a hat too, okay, and stuff. But this is the felt. Love it. I think this is a winner. I think it's cool. It's different. It's nice. And I really like the way it came out. Now, the only thing that I tell you guys is that it should be a non-structured hat, okay? I mean, you could do it on a structured hat, but the thing is, there's a lot of cutting that you have to do and a lot of maneuvering and everything. So you don't want to, structured hat, people usually buy them because, it's a hard hat. So the last thing that you want to do is mess around with the hat so much that you kind of crease it or something like that. So that's why I recommend doing this on a regular non-structured hat and stuff like that. So yeah, and then this is the inside. I just have to peel off whatever remaining stabilizer is on here and stuff, and it should be good to go, and it's okay. So guys, I am really, really sorry. I didn't mean to cut this embroidery happy hour short, but I did finish my 2 projects. I finished this and I finished that. So now I'm going to, because now they're really starting to show the fireworks out there. So I'm going to go to the basement with Mello. So that way he doesn't, all this doesn't bother him. He's okay and stuff. And we're going to watch a movie. Okay. So next week on Friday will be okay. And I'll be able to spend more time with you guys. Okay. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the fireworks. Have fun. Enjoy your long weekend. And I will talk to you guys later. See you guys later. Bye.